We're now ready to start our midweek press conference. We're now joined by head coach Rod Barnes, and we'll open up for questions.
Well, Coach, can you give us an update on C.J. Hardy?
He was back in practice today. He's obviously not full strength in the sense of his hand still hurts some, but he was able to catch and shoot. So, we feel good about him playing on Thursday. Hopefully that it's get better so he can be at full strength. But it was good enough for him to practice today and catch the ball, and dribble the ball, but he has it wrapped.
What officially is it? Is it jammed? Is it
So
dislocated?
dislocated.
Is it just one finger, two?
One finger.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a bruise on the other one. It's his pinky finger, but then because he got caught, the other finger is hurt, but it didn't get dislocated or anything.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. But you do feel good about his
I do. Yeah.
being ready?
Yeah. He was, it happened on Saturday. We had treatment on Sunday. Monday it was better, and then today it was even better. So we expect, I'm sure he'll have it wrapped for the game. But again, he was able to handle the ball. He was able to catch the ball and shoot it. Still have some pain, but not too much pain that he wouldn't be able to play.
Does the offense change without him on the court?
Obviously, I think just his aggression and his abilities to break people down and get down the floor. It's a different kind of game. I don't think our game plan changes or anything because we feel pretty good that Kadar Waller is playing better. So, we're not, if he happens to not play or doesn't play as much, we feel like we can do the same things. We just have to get more from some other guys.
Tom Mark has really stepped up in his return, if you will.
Smile.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, too, is it's not like the stuff you see in the stat sheet, but
Right.
boy, he makes an impact.
Well, yeah, he does. I mean, he's one of those guys that I love to coach, and because you don't see it. You don't realize that his deflection, his protecting the rim, not only just blocking shots, but having where guys are adjusting their shots to being long to make guys have to pass around his length, his help in recovery, just his speed, his activity on the glass. It never shows up a lot of times in the stat sheet, but then when you go back and you look at all the plays that he's making and the things that he's doing, you know that he's important to us. And we're just glad he's healthy. I mean, he's been injured and suffering from, pain in his knee, and just to have him back. And, I told him we even took some losses, wanting him to be healthy because we thought, conference play obviously is important to us. And so we just sat him, for the last almost month to try to get him ready. And, man, was he good last weekend.
This two-game stretch you just had, sort of reminiscent of the finish you had in conference last year and the way the guys have played.
Yeah.
What's been the difference? What have you seen?
I just think the focus. I think the aggression that we were playing with. We've been talking about this all season about just, guys like Jamel and C.J. Hardy being more aggressive and sure of themselves and, stepping into the role that we need them to step up into. We thought we had some guys on the front line with, Fidelis and Corey and, even Marvin as a veteran guy. We felt like we had enough. But to get our new guys to play the way we want to play and like to play, and we're hearing more stuff because we've had practice this morning of saying, man, that's Bakersfield. That's the way we play. That's the aggression we want to play with. I thought at times our defense the other night was exceptional. We got to get a little bit more consistent with it. I thought our rebounding was like last year as we finished the year up. And I just thought we had some guys a little bit more sure of themselves. And again, I think we're playing now and practicing now like I would like to have about 2 or 3 weeks ago to get us prepared for this. But we'll take it if we're going to come back after Christmas and win 2 games and start to play really well. This is the right time you want to do that.
All right, so Santa Barbara, your thoughts in terms of what you see from the Gauchos? I know their center's the leading scorer and rebounder.
Yep.
The challenge there, and they have some snipers on the outside.
They're always talented. One of the talented team in our league, and they're going to continue to do that. They do a great job with their recruiting. They've had success and been to the tournament. So, the thing is about them is they're deep as far as they're able to go, at least 9 guys. They're more perimeter oriented, except for the big guy inside, which he's a problem. He can score both inside and outside. He's a wide-bodied kid. Not only can he shoot it and rebound it, he can pass the basketball. So you've got to make sure that we're really locked in defensively. But then with their guard play, we got to get back in transition because they get a lot of stuff in transition because they push the basketball. So they're a good basketball team, both inside and outside. When you got a big guy like that and you got perimeter guys that can shoot the ball, our defense is going to have to be complete.
Winning on the road.
Yep.
What about it?
Well, I mean, we went to Portland and played well. We played well at the end of the tournament when we went to Florida. We've had some ups and we've had some downs. I just think our team is playing different now. So I thought, and I told them, and this is what we talked about when we went to Portland, I thought we had fixed it. I thought we had figured it out. And after that, obviously we had a tough loss here at home. And then we went on the road and just didn't show up, just did not compete. But I think our team is up and ready for it. The thing about it is we've been on the road enough. And, we had a really tough stretch non-conference where we were on the road a lot. That I think now we've got rest and we've got a chance to prepare, to have 4 or 5 days to prepare for them. I think our team is confident, and hopefully that confidence is enough for us to go and get a road win.
You said the phrase Bakersfield basketball. Describe that.
Hard-nosed, tough. When people come see us play, we're going to be the aggressor. What we're trying to do, we've always been that in a sense defensively, but we're trying to, create that a little bit more offensively. And we're going to play together. As I told them the other day, this morning, regardless of what came out of the game last Thursday and last Saturday, people knew they were in Bakersfield. And they could see the grit, the fight, the toughness. And we played, our style of basketball. I mean, it was a hard-nosed both nights. I was concerned going into the Long Beach because of their size and athleticism, whether we were going to still have that fight because we had just came off a really battle against Davis because they're a physical team and not as big as some of the other teams, but they put their body on you. They'll bang you around. They'll be physical with you on rebounds. And I thought our guys really responded well in the Long Beach game. And again, I told them if we walked away and we didn't win the Long Beach game, they knew, hey man, we don't, Bakersfield tough to deal with. So we like to be in a tough out. We want people to respect in the way that we play, and now I think our guys are buying into that more.
Final one for me. You mentioned in the postgame that you guys had to wear 0-2 for a month. You always saw 0-2. And you took care of that. Now you're 2-2. And some of the teams that were 2-0 are now 2-2. What do you make of this conference right now? What do you see out there?
Any given night, I mean, there's nowhere that you're going to go and take the night off and not get beat. I mean, you're going to have to bring your A game every night. And that's something that as a competitor, as a team, like, you want that. You want to get someone's, you want to every night get up and be prepared. And the tougher-minded teams, the hardest playing teams, those are the kind of teams that are going to end up, when it's all said and done, that I think that's going to win. It's going to be at the top. It's going to be a fight. This is going down like it's been going down. It's going to be the last week before we figure out who's going to Henderson. And we just want to be one of those teams to be going, to give ourselves an opportunity to do something that we haven't done here, and that's to go to the NCAA tournament as a representative of the Big West. So we've got a long ways to go, a lot of fight, and joking today about coaches. We talked about it's game to game, and then someone said it's half to half, and someone said it's week to week, and then someone said it's play to play. So every time there's a new play, it's something that's going on. But we feel better about our team and the consistency that we have, and we kind of know our team. And I think as you and others has followed us, you kind of got a little expectation of what Jamel might do or could do, or CJ. And, you know, a lot of time as a coach, you've recruited those and you see those things and you know there's potential there. But until it happens, you know, fans or media will say, well, I kind of see it a little bit or maybe. And it's as I told our team, being the head coach, I saw our potential from back in June. And I told them we had to work to get there, and it's taken us to this point. And we're still not as good as we could be, but I think people are convinced now C.J. Hardy could be okay, or Jamel Jones could be okay, or, you know, Marvin the fourth can make an open shot. And they're fulfilling some of the things that we wanted, that we recruited them for, to get them here, to give us some scoring and give us some speed and athleticism and make some plays that some other people just don't make. And I think they've done that now. Now we've added what we came here with as far as Tom Mark being back in the mix of what we're doing. And I think that helps to, you know, put us in a position. We've got to continue to work and get better. But now I can kind of see our team coming together in a different kind of way.
I actually want to throw one more at you, because last year, boy, you were as close as a team could be at winning at Santa Barbara without winning. At the foul line with, what, 1/10 of a second left?
Yeah.
You make the foul shot, you
We
win,
win,
and it
yeah.
falls off. It hung on the front rim for God knows how long and fell off, and you lose in overtime. But do you think that result, not the loss, but
Yep.
how well you guys played and how close you played, will serve the guys that were on that team last year better this year?
Oh, no doubt. There's no question about that. I mean, when you've got guys that have, whether they've been on the road or been in different games and played against high-level competition, whether that's Power 5 teams or whatever, when they've experienced it, Fidelis, Marvin, Corey, those guys will go into the game. Tom, not being afraid or wondering, could we do it? They'll go into the game, and I'm speaking for them, but I believe just as a player, they'll go in the game and say, hey, man, we almost got it here. So it won't be this thing that every time we've been to their place, we didn't have a chance to win. We should have won the game last year, and we didn't. So I think they'll go in with some confidence to say, hey, man, like, we're good enough to beat them. Where if you didn't have that kind of experience, you may go in wondering, like, man, it's been double figures. They beat us every year that we've been here. I think we go with a different level of confidence. And then we got guys that are playing well, like Jamel and CJ. They don't know the difference. So they're just going to show up and say, hey, man, it's another game. And I think the other guys will tell them, like, it's a tough place to win, but we can win there.
Yes, good. Awesome. Thanks,
All
man.
right.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you,
Coach,
man.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
You gotta unhook
Yeah,
the
I'm coming here.
We will now continue the midweek press conference with head coach Weidman, and we will open up for questions.
All right, Ari, what do you make of the last 2 times out? Let's start there.
Yeah, UC Davis, obviously, a really talented team. Coach Gross has been there for a really long time. I thought they were really talented, very long, and they executed. And so I thought we learned what it takes really to compete at the Big West, like win a championship. And so that was a good test. Long Beach State, I thought we had our chances, and I think that they're seeing that, but it comes down to execution and making layups and converting clean looks. And so we talked about that in our film session. Like there were moments where I think at the 8:42 mark in the fourth quarter, we got it to 10, and then we got clean looks, we got O-boards, called actions, and then we just missed, and we could have went up at times. And so I think they're saying that if they will convert, that you're able to beat some of these teams. And so just continuing to focus on being super efficient in terms of shot making.
When the wins aren't coming yet, and you play a team like Davis, for instance,
Yeah.
what's it like? What's the learning, point for the players to see this is what the top of the Big West looks like? How do you sort of relate that to them?
Yeah, I told them, I took a shower in perspective. It was like we're in year 0 essentially, and they're in year 14. And also before she was there, they were running that same offense. So it's a well-oiled machine, and they just did everything timely and almost perfect. And so you have to be so sharp, and there wasn't a large margin of error against them. And we talked about that before the game, and we gave them a lot. So it's just about being sharper. And this group, though, they're still interested, which I really love. You could lose a team with our record, but they're still very much locked in, and it's more about the confidence piece and courage to know you can do it. And we just talked about that right now. It's a matter of you've got what you need. Now, will you be confident and have some courage and do it?
So what impresses you about your team, and that you said it's easy to lose a team when you're losing. So what impresses you about their want to?
Yeah, I think they're just a group that they want to win. They're figuring out and learning how to. And so, but they're developing resolve and grit. And so that takes a little bit of time, but if we can keep them together, which they are, there's still time, And so I'm proud of the fact that they're still competing and still interested. That was my main thing. Will you stay interested through losses and stay focused on what's coming?
Santa Barbara coming in, your thoughts?
Yeah, they're very disciplined. They've got 4 or 5 returners starting from last year. Disciplined, but not deep. And so if we can get out in transition and get some of their guards in foul trouble, that would be ideal, just because their depth I don't think is as good as some of the teams in the conference. But obviously they've got the leading scorer in the conference, and Alyssa Marin, so we need to change up some coverages in terms of making sure she has a tough night and then slowing them down in transition because they can get out and run. But containing more of their guards. They've got Anya Choice and Alyssa Marin, who are really good guards. I think that we have some matchup advantages in the post. If we can stretch the floor with Aerie and Garrison and Marley even up to 5 at times. And so I think we've just got to be really, really sharp, and we have a chance against them.
Offensively, it seems like you guys keep hitting in the same area in terms of high 40s, low 40s, wherever you are. You're in that area. Has it been a missed opportunities, missed shots? Is it something else? How do you guys sort of accelerate that and get to the next level?
Yeah, I never really want to be attached to outcome, but I'm holding them accountable in terms of converting. You can't be Long Beach State, you're 22% from the field. They're at the rim. If they're on air, you have to finish those. Even just around the rim with fakes, you've got to finish. And so we break down the film, and offensively, they're getting clean looks. The offense works. It's just we're not putting them in. And so today, replicate the rep if you didn't make a layup. Everything, it has to be perfect. The shots, you have to see it go in, and then you have to stack and know that if you saw them go in this week, then you should be confident for Thursday and Saturday. And so I'm being a little bit more. I'm not as flexible as in terms of if you're missing in practice. I am attached to that outcome because you have to make layups. Open shots, you got to stick them. You got to have the confidence to do it.
Have you found, given what you just said, have you found maybe, and just use the team as a whole, not one individual,
Yeah.
that maybe you have a bunch of practice shooters out there that look different when they're game shooters?
I could see that, and I don't know. I try to go back, like, is there performance anxiety? Is there some sort of pressure they feel? Like, I go back and watch the Seattle game, and it's like you try to find the pulse on your team, and you have a chance to win a game, and then we're running, like, we didn't execute late, and we didn't hit shots. Like, we scored our first 2 when we executed, and then it's air ball, miss, and it's like you're trying to figure out where that could come from. And I think that it's the mind. Like, we just talked about a segment we had with making perfect layups. The only difference between morning practice and afternoon was mindset, and that you can do it and that you should do it. And so with this group, I know they're capable, but the confidence piece is something that we're continuing to tinker with. And I think kids are just different. I think that their confidence can leave so quickly, and it's like, I don't think it should. So we're trying to develop that too with them. But I ideally want to see them score the ball. You know, if it's an open look, I think you've got to hit those. Which there's a lot generated going back and even watching Long Beach State film.
So I know it's tiresome to be asked time and again about getting the first win. But
Yeah.
I guess what I'm asking, though, along these lines, though, is how much closer do you see your team getting there? Because if you didn't see any progress, you'd probably just want to, go to sleep for a week.
Totally.
So, but if you see progress, so do you see light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, the best way to put it?
Yeah, I do. The only thing, like, if I'm honest, what I want to avoid is it hitting them late, because they have it. When they're confident and just believe in themselves and each other. And I just told them in a segment right now, it doesn't matter if I tell you you can hit the shot or score the layup. Until you decide you're going to do it, that's when it'll change. And so it's like you want people to believe in themselves. It's kind of that battle. Like, you got to know you can do it. You got to have an unshakable confidence about you. I was like, I come in here, I'm going to coach you guys hard as heck. It doesn't matter if we've lost 13 in a row or whatever it is now, 14, I don't know. But I'm coming in every day like we're going with the next one. And I told them, like, you should expect to win this week. You've put in the work. You've won Monday and Tuesday. Now you need to win tomorrow. And then you have a chance to beat Santa Barbara and then Northridge. But you should expect to. I told them, you have to expect the best, not the worst. And I think some of them, maybe they just expect the worst in a lot of situations, and that makes you tight, and you shouldn't. Like, if you put in the work, why would you question a thing,
So lastly, on a personal level, because I know and I can hear the enthusiasm still in your voice, but in the quiet moments,
Yeah.
do you ever look in the mirror and go, "What's supposed to be like this?" How do you cope with it?
Yeah, I have my moments, but I also know what I signed up for, and it's going to take some time. I'm like, this is frustrating because of the time it takes, but that's part of it. I called the new coach at Toledo, Jenny, and she's like, first thing you know, I took over a team. Year 1's hard. Year 2's a dream killer, because you're not losing by 20, you're losing by 5. Then year 3, you see, like, the sun, I would love to skip the year 2, obviously, and even make a jump now. And I think you could lose a team right now, and I think that they're still excited and ready to go. And so, I'm not miserable. Like, some people I call, they're like, yeah, at least you sound good, And so we're gonna keep chipping away. I've been chipping away my whole life. And if I wasn't able to chip, I don't think I would have taken this job. I knew what it was going to come with, and specifically this year, taking it so late. And so I'm becoming a better coach. Like, they're helping me grow as a person too, because I'm having to find a solution or plug. I think I solved something, and then, nope, offense works one day, doesn't. Then it's the defense, and then it's hustle, and it's something. So I'm getting better to myself, and I'm growing up, they're growing up, and so I still know the best is yet to come, right?
Good. All right.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.